you have an introduction.
Y'all probably thought I forgot to introduce people from Georgia. What you didn't know is I have a special place on the program to introduce one person from Georgia, and I'm going to add on to it a couple others. Moses, stand up. Moses, stand up until you can sit down. When somebody's that, it's just fun to have the gavel and be able to tell them what to do. In case you couldn't see him, I'm sure you knew where Moses was. I think you can all see him either. Moses has become a great friend of mine. I'm so proud of Moses McIntosh and what he's doing as the leader and the commander of the Disabled American Veterans. He is a great veteran. He's a great Georgian. I have the utmost respect for the job that he does. And Moses, we are proud to have you here today representing all the disabled veterans of America. Now, while you're back in the Air Force and the Army, forced to take a discharge in 1989 and 1997 after 2,800 flight hours in both Desert Storm and Desert Shield. We appreciate your service to the country. You retired as a Chief Warrant Officer. You're our Chief Officer any day of the day, so we're very proud of you. Thank you for being here today. Just so the chairman doesn't show me up, well, all the Georgia Disabled American Veterans stand with us. Here, here. Thank you all for your service to America. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Sir, you are recognized for as much time as you need.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Isaacson, thank you for your kind introduction. Chairmen and members of the Committee of Veteran Affairs, I appreciate the opportunity to appear before you today. My full statement thoroughly details DAV key legislative priorities for the 114th Congress and reports on many accomplishments. I ask that my formal testimony be submitted for the record.
Without objection, order.
I want to start by recognizing those seated at the table with me, as well as some distinguished guests in attendance. The National Adjutant and CEO, Mark Burgess, National Executive Directors, Barry Jesenowski and Gary Augustine, National Service Director, Jim Marzalak, National Legislative Director, Joy Elam, National Voluntary Service Director, John Kleindese, National Employment Director, Jeff Hall, our Auxiliary National Commander, Linda Stakes, Arkansas, Auxiliary National Adjutant, Patricia Kemper of Kentucky, DAV Senior Vice Commander, David Raleigh of Alabama, Junior Vice Commanders, Delphine Metcalf Foster of California, Dennis Nixon of Texas, and Harmon Evans of South Carolina. Our National Judge Advocate, Mike Dahmeyer of North Dakota. Immediate past National Commander, Ron Hope of North Carolina. Chaplain, Mike Dover, Georgia. And National Chief of Staff, Thomas Walls of South Carolina. I ask DAV National Executive Committee to please stand or raise your hand to be recognized. I also want to recognize will the members of the National Legislative Interim Committee also please stand and raise your hand. I would also like to recognize the DAV delegation from my home state of Georgia. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to recognize my wife Marjorie and daughters Richard and Paige. Mr. Chairman, it's a privilege for me to appear before you today, along with the membership and leadership of DAV, to present our recommendations for the coming year and to report our accomplishments. My personal story is a prime example of what DAV does. As a helicopter pilot, I logged more than 2,800 flight hours and flew 25 combat missions before I was medically retired. I met a DAV member who took me in and transformed my life. DAV empowered me to get my education, care for my family, and continue to serve my fellow veterans. Before engaging in the substance of my report about DAV's work and our mission, I want to share some personal thoughts on being National Commander and my guiding principle. DAV is a unique organization with a narrow focus on disabled veterans and their families. Behind wartime disabled veterans are spouses, children, parents, and siblings who also served and sacrificed. When a veteran is wounded, that injury affects everyone around him or her. As National Commander, I intend to intensify DAV's commitment to caregivers of all generations. These individuals not only share their lives with their injured loved ones, but in fact, they save the federal government vast sums of money. Currently, comprehensive caregiver benefits are only available to veterans injured after 9/11. That needs to change. We call on Congress to pass legislation to extend comprehensive family caregiver services and support to caregivers of all severely injured veterans. It's the right thing to do. Mr. Chairman, DAV primary mission is providing free professional assistance representing all veterans and their families in the VA claims process. This is accomplished by nearly 4,000 chapter, department, transition, and national service officers, including DAV accredited county veteran service officers. During 2015, more than 270 dedicated and highly trained DAV National Service officers filed over 195,000 new claims for VA benefits and helped veterans obtain more than $4 billion in new and retroactive benefits. DAV also operates a fleet of 10 mobile service officers that travels almost 105,000 miles last year to extend our service to local communities all over the country. I'm especially proud to highlight that more than 12,000 DAV and auxiliary volunteers provided more than 1.7 million hours of services, which saved taxpayers more than $39 million. Last year, DAV donated 111 vans to VA facilities, which helped transport over 600,000 veterans to VA healthcare appointments. Our national employment program helped over 26,000 individuals at 71 DAV sponsored job fairs with 2,000 employers in 40 cities. Mr. Chairman, I have highlighted a number of our core programs and services, but we offer many more. I'm proud of the real difference DAV makes for those who serve. While DAV volunteers are working hard to assist veterans in the VA medical centers across the nation, the healthcare system has been under intense scrutiny for most of the past 2 years. We acknowledge the need for change, and our members have passed a resolution calling for significant reforms. However, To our dismay, some groups and politicians have called for the VA to be significantly downsized or dismantled. While we know that many problems still exist in VA, this system is our greatest hope of keeping our promise to care for those who serve and their families. Our members rely on VA, we need VA, and we have earned VA. We want to ensure the future of the VA for the people in this room and future veterans who will need it. Unfortunately, there are a number of misleading ideas and proposals that sound good on the surface, but in our opinion, would have devastating consequences of that. Converting VA from a robust, comprehensive, full-service health care system into a future of excellence would result in the closing of hundreds of medical centers and outpatient clinics. This would ultimately force hundreds of thousands of disabled veterans who rely on VA to travel further and wait longer for their care. Or, for example, another proposal would turn the VA health care system into an insurance program that no longer provides direct medical service for veterans. This would throw away all of the experience and expertise that VA doctors and researchers have amassed. We ask you to take a careful look at these and other simplistic proposals that may sound good on the surface, but if enacted, would weaken health care for the men and women who serve. In the coming weeks and months, DAV is going to campaign to set the record straight on these dangerous proposals. It is critical that veterans, the very people the VA was created to serve, have a say in the future of our health care system. Mr. Chairman, there's a better way to reform VA. We believe that the future for veterans' health care must include both a robust VA health care system and an integrated private sector component. We have put together a plan that has 4 pillars. First, restructure, consolidate, and integrate non-VA community care programs into the local network that creates new options close to home. Second, realign VA services to increase access to care, including urgent care for all enrolled veterans. Third, rebuild VA's internal capacity to provide timely, comprehensive, high-quality care. And fourth, reform VA's management and culture within transparency and real accountability. VA new health reform plan that was sent to Congress is similar in many regards, and we look forward to working with VA and Congress to develop a plan that ensures veterans get the best health care when and where they need it. To be clear, we do not believe that simply increasing VA funding without making some significant reforms will lead to better health outcomes for veterans. However, no VA reform plan has any chance of success unless sufficient resources are consistently provided. In closing, as National Commander, it has been an honor and a highlight of my career to appear before you today, to represent a great national institution, to demonstrate that DAV devotes its resources to the most meaningful services for wartime injured veterans, to present our legislative goals for 2016.